Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about the graph. This has been one of those projects that I have been making videos on here and there. I personally do think that this is going to be one of those projects that do bounce back pretty strong going into the next major run up. Simple reasoning behind this is the AI narrative. I also do believe that the graph is a significant portion of the Web3 economy. I think that this is doing some pretty big things for data around the Web3 area, and I think that this is definitely going to be one of those projects that everyone does have their eyes on at some point in time. It might not be as flashy with its high market cap sitting at about $1.2 billion, but I do think that this has a lot of upside potential, and we have been discussing it here and there for some time on this channel due to that fact. This has been, full transparency, one of my biggest winners going all the way back to 2021. We were able to get in on the drop down back here. No, I did not buy the exact bottom because nobody ever will. I think I bought around like 32 to like 36 cents or something like that. And then yeah, it ran up pretty quick. I think that most of the people that were in the graph, there started to become a FUD narrative around this area here when we did start to jump out, and even on this drawback, a lot of people were shaken out on the graph, and then all of a sudden, boom, we ran up pretty quick to about $2.30 some cents. This was basically the top. We did not make a new all-time high during the run-up in like the May timeframe or even during the November 2021 timeframe. This was due to token unlocks. There was quite a bit of tokens unlocked. Don't worry, we are going to get into that here in a second as well and talk a little bit about tokenomics. So with that in mind, what has changed? Well, one, today we have a lot more holders. We're sitting at about 127,000 holders, and as you guys do see, this has been on a solid uptrend. I know back here it was actually on a pretty big downtrend, but since then there has been a lot of accumulation happening, which is very exciting to see. Also, you can see all the holding addresses over here. There is still tokens locked. There's currently sitting at about 1.2 billion locked in token lock. There's also 3.1 billion in the proxy as well. Then down here we have the lockup simple. This is about 423 million graph. Now after that, again, everything is basically all holding addresses except for the multi-sig itself. But this is due to staking services and things like that within the graph. We'll get into that here in a second as well. But for the most part, I am not too concerned at all with these holding amounts. Some of it could be exchange listings, it could be, team processing and things like that. So there's a lot of things within, the tokenomics section that you could read more into. I already did a breakdown on it when I initially started talking about the graph on this channel. But with all of that in mind, I do want to move over here to the network itself. So the network itself, like I said, does have staking. You can see the indexing rewards here, but you could also see the total stake. So currently, right now, including indexers as well as delegators, there is over 2.6 billion graph locked away. And if we go back over here, currently circulating is about 8.8 billion, almost 8.9 billion. So a pretty significant amount of the supply is staked away, earning rewards. And like I said, yes, there is rewards. There's also no max supply on the graph, very similar to like Casper, for an example. And you can see the token supply, you can see the mint it, and there's also, yes, burned graph. There's 24.7 million burned graph, and this is the result of taxes, residual rebates, and even slashing. But this is all fully transparent, and of course, you guys are more than welcome to close out on this and fully avoid it as well if you don't want to, get into the graph. You don't need to. I don't make these videos for you guys to invest into these tokens. I make these videos to give you guys a full-on update and things like that around, these projects. But there is a slashing percentage of about 2.5%. And you also see all of the other parameters around the protocol, like, for example, the reward, token issuance, as well as everything else. But with that, let's move over to the narrative. So, like I said, around AI and big data, there has been a massive push within this market. The Graph is still the number one token in terms of market cap within the top AI and big data section over here. Full transparency, I'm also a big holder of Rose. I think that this is a solid project as well. But as we do look at all of these projects and as we look at the market cap, we know at some point in time, and you could even see it here in terms of the market cap, there was a lot of pump and dumping happening within the AI narrative. Even today, you can still see that there's, some pumping of AI bags happening within this area. But I do think going into the next major bull run, I do think everyone is going to be keeping a close eye on AI because even right now, if you actually look up AI crypto over on Google Trends, you could see that this is still at a pretty big area of focus. It's not as big as it was back in the beginning of February, for an example, where this hit an all-time high in terms of trends. But hey, this is still looking pretty good, sitting at about like 66. Now, this is just a way to gauge the overall interest within certain things. So if you actually go, you can look up metro and cities and stuff like that if you want to look at like your full on, city, or if you want to go worldwide, we could also look at that as well. And as you guys do see here, yes, the topping point was the beginning of February. Here we are at currently right now. It is on a downtrend. More focus is going on to other things, maybe like Arbitrum and stuff like that. But I do think going forward on in time, this will bounce back. Very similar to even Web3, right? Because Web3, big focus point, if we actually go over here to worldwide, and we look at the past 5 years, yes, we did top out during 2021, December 2021. This is basically at the end of 2021's bull run, and then just sideways, sort of. I don't want to say price action. I'm so used to seeing price action, but just sideways interest in general. So I'm waiting for this to bounce back. I think that when everyone starts talking about Web3 and AI, like these are two big things that the graph is focused on. The graph is focused on allowing Web3 to truly realize its potential. And when we actually look at the AI narrative being pushed around crypto, it still is a pretty big focus. I mean, here's March 16th. These AI coins could show great potential in the coming weeks. The graph is on here as well. Or sorry, was it up here? So yeah, they just mentioned the graph. They don't actually show or they do show the chart. I thought this was actually Ocean Protocol for an example, but the graph is the first project that they're looking at. They do mention an all-time high of 92 cents in February. I don't know why they're saying 92 cents because it did go much higher than 92 cents. Might just be bad reporting, but hey, the graph is still mentioned within this, and this is not the only article. There was also this one, 3 top most AI cryptocurrencies to buy this year, March 21st. And the first one, the graph. And then also, last but not least, we have two other articles. We have this one, which is crypto Politan, sorry, top AI and big data tokens to watch in 2023, March 16th, and the graph is the first one up. They also do mention the features and the tokenomics, and then also, which by the way, they do say it has a fixed amount. But as I mentioned, it's basically like about a 3% year over year inflation. So about roughly 300 million tokens will be unlocked every single year. Like I said, very similar to Casper. But over here, we also do see the Graph GRT, if you will, rallies 15% amid AI token surge, May 16th. Other AI related tokens also rose on Thursday with decentralized AI marketplace Singularity Net rising 15%. So, like I said, with all of the focus on AI tokens and even the Web3 area, I do think that the graph is also going to be one of those projects that still gain a lot within this market. I mean, like Matic was also a big player of mine. Currently sitting at about $10 billion in market cap. Very similar tokenomics, minus the fact that Polygon, I'm pretty sure, yeah, Polygon has a max supply of 10 billion. But the graph, like I said, doesn't have a max supply. It does have 10.6 billion out there. I do think that this could very well, have the same market cap as Polygon currently, or possibly even higher, depending on the overall amount of focus that AI gets, as well as data. But to me, I think long term, the graph plays a significant role in the Web3 economy, and I just think that the graph is going to be around for a while. I think that this is one of the most solid projects out there that is adding fundamental value the Web3 space, which is why I do focus on it quite a bit. And also, just recently, we did see the Graph announce paying for queries on the Graph network is now as easy as swiping a credit card. You asked for an easier way to use the Graph, and the Graph's core devs listened. Now you can pay your query fee balance via debit or credit card thanks to the new bank's official fiat on ramp. And this is very cool. I mean, honestly, they've been adding a ton of features. They've been doing a ton of upgrades. They've been doing a lot of development as well on their product offering. So that's something that I personally look at, especially around a lot of these projects, because we do have, some projects within crypto that, they have a great offering, but they just don't do any changes. They don't have any development happening. So, constantly having these updates from the team, which by the way, the Graph is one of the most active projects within the space. They constantly are talking about the project on Twitter and giving us updates, but they do go through the entire process here. I think that this is great. I think that these on ramps, especially as a if you're a developer in the space, this is great. And we even do see, like, by leveraging a fiat on ramp, the Graph empowers a broader pool of developers to build on decentralized data infrastructure. That means more users can take advantage of the benefits of the Graph's decentralized network while reducing billing steps. So it's great to see, cutting out the complex steps to, you know, creating value like this and paying for queries. Like, this is great to me. But also, Subgraph. So Subgraphs was a big talking point in my last graph video. I actually really keep giving you guys these insights because they are a significant metric to keep a close eye out on. We do see the subgraph where We Are Teller is live on the Graph's decentralized network. They do break down what Teller actually is. They also do see the data as well. Like, this is all centered on data. Um, and by the way, it's decentralized data, fully transparent. Like, this is decentralized data at the heart and soul of Web3 and crypto. Like I said, if you're gonna look at Web3 and if you want Web3 to be decentralized, then you would want the data aspect to be decentralized, because data at the end of the day is the forefront of pretty much everything. So having decentralized data, significant thing. Having decentralized storage, like, everything is going to be a big step towards allowing Web3 to truly realize its value as well as potential. So this is very exciting. But the reason why I did include just a subgraph announcement, because they do make 10 of these a day, for an example, is the amount of subgraphs we have, 772. I think the last update that I made on the graph, because I do have an older video from two months ago. I was about to say 2 years ago. Um, so from 2 months ago, we were sitting at 637 subgraphs. And in 2 months, because this got posted on January 14th, so January 14th to March 26th, we have 772 subgraphs now. Pretty significant push. Well over 130 plus subgraphs at it. And this is great. I think that this is incredible. And you could see all of the projects tied to this. And there's so many other ones, by the way. But I'm just saying, like, this is truly allowing decentralized data to be realized in for the Web3 economy. This is why I say it's like an intricate piece of the puzzle for everything. And again, they constantly upgrade the overall system. They all constantly are doing work. For an example, here we have the Graph Dev ZK Sync devs. You can now build subgraphs for ZK Sync Era's newly launched mainnet in Subgraph Studio. Like, they're constantly adding support. They're constantly, bringing more to the ecosystem and expanding rapidly. Like, I just think that this is a great project from that point of view. Um, like I said, if you're a graph holder, then you're betting on the AI narrative and the Web3 narrative to really push back in a big way. But also, I think that the graph is, it's still in the top 50. It's going to be a project that, I mean, everyone knows about the graph. I think that initially on, like I said in my last previous videos, it got the name, the Google of crypto, and it's because of the data aspect around it. It's because of the amount of potential that it has for decentralized data and allowing for Web3 to, like I said, realize its potential. And I do think that with the amount of holders, I think, like, across the whole scope, because, like, this is on other networks, or at least it's on other So yeah, like here's like Sora, Avalanche, Solana, Arbitrum, Near, like all of these combined, I still think it's under 200,000 holders at least. I think maybe it's even under 160,000 holders. I think that I've seen like only 4,000 holders on it wasn't Arbitrum, but I think that it might have been Solana. But when you look at the watch list, there's over 425,000 individuals with this on their watch list. So when this thing really does start to break up, like that's going to be 400,000 plus individuals, getting that alert. And right now, like I said, we're under 100 and probably 160,000 holders, like I said. So that's going to be a lot of people that are looking at the graph. I still think that we're very early on the graph. I think that we're very early on Web3. I think that we still have a long way to go until Web3 is truly realized in. But I'm very excited for these projects like the graph that are allowing, intricate parts of the Web3, area and just the economy around Web3 to really be seen. I think that data, big aspect, huge area of focus. They do have AI technology tied to them as well. So great to see. And yeah, with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video because definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are on this before. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.